This is an ABC News special report. The death of President George Herbert Walker Bush.
I'm Linda Lopez at ABC News headquarters here in New York. We are coming on the air because we have some very sad breaking news. George Herbert Walker Bush, the 41st president of the United States, has died at the age of 94. And his death comes just 7 months after burying the love of his life, his beloved wife, Barbara. The two were married for more than 73 years. He was tearful, as you can imagine, during that funeral service, comforted by his children. Bush was the patriarch of one of the most powerful political dynasties in American history. His son, of course, George W., serving as 43rd president. Bush 41, as he's often referred to, was the last president of the greatest generation. He pursued a life of extraordinary service to America, a man who put country above party and family above everything else. President Bush faced victory and defeat in his presidencies with modesty, humor, and uncommon grace. ABC's Terry Moran has more on the life of George H.W. Bush.
January 1989.
I, George Herbert Walker Bush, do solemnly swear.
He was 64 years old, and he had at long last reached the pinnacle of American power. But for George H.W. Bush, the presidency was really just one chapter in a remarkable lifetime of service to our country, a record of heroism and leadership he found hard by his nature to discuss.
I may sometimes be a little awkward, but there's nothing self-conscious in my love of country.
Today, in a noisier and coarser political era, it's almost hard to imagine that such a man, so thoroughly decent, so moderate in his beliefs and style, could be president.
But you must feel responsibility to others. You must believe in serving others. I think that's a fundamental tenet of my life.
George Bush was born on the 12th of June, 1924, into the privileged world of the Eastern establishment. His father, Prescott Bush, would later become a United States Senator from Connecticut, a Republican. On his 18th birthday in 1942, George enlisted to fight in World War II, becoming the youngest pilot in the U.S. Navy. 2 years later, on his 50th mission, his plane was shot down over the Pacific.
I knew if I wasn't rescued, I would be captured, and it was a harrowing experience.
Just months before the war ended, Bush came home and married his teenage sweetheart, Barbara Pierce. And over the years, they had 6 children: future President George W. Bush, future Florida Governor Jeb, sons Marvin and Neil, daughter Dorothy, and a little girl named Robin, who died of leukemia at the age of 3 in 1953. The pain of that loss was still evident years later in an interview with ABC's Diane Sawyer.
But he was very close.
I was very close to her.
She adored him.
What was it that pulled you back up on your feet afterwards?
He was very strong then. He was wonderful.
George and Barbara Bush were married longer than any first couple in the nation's history, a love story that lasted more than 73 years. After college at Yale University, Bush moved to Texas, became a successful oil man, and won a seat in Congress in 1966. Then came a string of high-profile appointments, serving the country in so many ways.
Now